One thing about me is that I'm always going to be on theme, and today's theme is JUDYDOLL's latest collection, Sport Chic. This collection is claiming to be waterproof, long wearing, sweat proof, so it's definitely for my active girls or anyone that wants a product to last for a long time. We do have some really cool formulas that I want to talk about, so I have my Sporty Chic blue visor on, ready to review. So with that being said, let's get started with the video. Alright, so to start off the review, let's talk about the Oil Skin Foundation. This is $17 USD and I got mine in N20. This is an already existing formula in JUDYDOLL, but this is the Sport Chic edition. Now I don't know if the formula is different from the original or if it's just the packaging that is different, but this is my first time using it, so I'm gonna be reviewing this as it is. You're gonna hear a lot of these keywords throughout the video that I've already mentioned, so lightweight, waterproof, sweat-proof, long-lasting. JUDYDOLL claims all of these things for this foundation and for a lot of these products because, again, it's the Sport Chic collection. You want to look chic when you are doing sports. You want your makeup to stay, to last. Although I can't really confirm whether those claims are true or not because I don't really do any sports that I'm sweating. I'm currently in winter as well, so I'm really not sweating these days. But for this foundation, I can confirm that it does feel super lightweight on the skin. It really doesn't feel like I have much on my skin right now. Even though when you see the consistency, it is much thicker. It's not a runny formula, and I will say the coverage is maybe from light to medium. Any foundation that I do review, I'm always going to compare it to my ultimate favorite, which is the Unleashia Healthy Green Cushion. That cushion is my ultimate favorite. I feel like my skin looks the best in that. So naturally, whenever I review a new foundation, I'm always going to compare it. And this does not compare, but I will say it's not bad, but it's also not great either. Like, this foundation does everything that I would want a foundation to do, right? It doesn't cling onto any dry patches, it feels lightweight, it has light medium coverage. Everything about this foundation works, you know what I mean? But for some reason, the overall finish, I don't love it, but I don't hate it. It's a foundation that does what it's supposed to do, but it's not outstanding either. If I had to give it a rating out of 10, I would probably give it like maybe a 6.5, and I don't know what's missing about it that's not giving. So it's hard to review it in that sense. Now let's talk about the liquid blushes. So there are 6 shades in total. I got 2 shades, number 1 and number 5. These are $9 US each, and what it claims is that it's the first active liquid pigment. Now I don't really know what that means too much, but that is a claim that it gives. And again, the claims are sweat-proof, waterproof, long-lasting. What's cute about these is the applicator is that it's a little puffy sponge. So you probably have seen something similar like this from SheGlam. You won't see me review SheGlam, and I really want to try those blushes, but I'm glad JUDYDOLL came out with their own version so I could try something like it. And these are super cute as well. I love this like little sponge tip, and the reason why they use the sponge tip is because they said it absorbs the product fully, it will help with even application, and it's just easy to control. And all those things I think is very true. The sponge is very soft as well, and for this formula I will say it is a very sheer type of formula, especially with the colors. Even on my skin tone, I really do have to build up for me to see it. But in saying that, like, you know, with some liquid blushes you can't build up, it can look patchy. These are very buildable, so you can keep adding on to your liking. If you want something sheer, if you want something a little bit deeper, I think these are actually really nice to use just as a base. And that's what I typically like using a liquid blushes for. You guys know me, I don't like liquid or creams, but if I'm going to use a liquid or cream that doesn't look patchy on my skin, I like to use it as a base, set it down, and then go in with a powder blush and be more precise. That way I have a more seamless blush look. So for the 2 shades I got, first is number 1. This is like a light pastel pink. It is very light on the skin, but again, it's great as a base. And the other shade that I got, number 5, it's a bit of like a muted mauvey rose type of color. This one you could pair together as well. Both blended into the skin really well, but again, both you really do need to build on to get the color. So I think the only downside with these is probably the shade range. I don't see a lot of the colors going very dark, but then again, that method of using a lighter blush as a base to have that brightening effect, and then going in with your normal blush at the center to really pinpoint, it gives a really seamless look. I like something a little bit more brightening when it comes to blushes, so number one definitely is up my alley. Then next up we have the liquid eyeshadows, a very similar packaging to the liquid blushes. There are also 6 shades as well, but these go for $8 US. And this is what I was most interested in because the formula is just so innovative, it's so unique, it's so interesting. But there are 2 different versions. So I know in Chinese makeup they like to call liquid glitter liquid eyeshadow, which I feel like can be very misleading because I feel like a liquid glitter is not eyeshadow, it's like a liquid liner. So there's 2 versions and I got both. So we'll start off with like the actual liquid eyeshadow first, and I'll show you how I got my eye look today. With only using these 3 products, I think that's perfect for this collection because for these liquid eyeshadows, you can just apply them all over the eye, one and done, easy to go, you're out the door. But what's really cool and unique about the liquid eyeshadow formula is that the more you rub it out, the more sparkle and glitter is going to show. So if you were to do a first initial swipe, it's gonna come off like a matte liquid eyeshadow, right? But the more you dab it in and rub it in, these glitters start appearing and it's literally like magic. The only thing for me, the downside of this is that you have to use your fingers, and when you have long nails, it's a little bit hard, especially if your lid space is a little bit smaller. But it's really such a unique formula. I've never seen it done before. I've never seen anything like it before. These blend out really well. They give you enough time to maneuver and blend out the product. But then once it's set, it's in place. You get that long wearing claim there, and it's really, really nice. I feel like a lot of liquid eyeshadows, sometimes they can dry down too quick and then you want to start blending it out. You add more on top and then everything just starts looking patchy. With this, you can add, you can build. It's not going to look patchy at all. I feel like for my eye look today, I think it looks pretty well blended, and the glitters are really pretty. They don't feel chunky or thick, like you really don't feel it on your finger at all. But then I'm going to use the liquid glitter in G02. So this one is a bit different. You can see it is essentially just a glitter liner, and I use this at my crease just to emphasize that cut crease line, and then also on my lower lash line as well on my little eye bag, just to add more glitter. As you can see, the glitter in the glitter liner is much more reflective, and in the packaging, and maybe when you swatch it, it might come off a little bit more pink, but it does definitely reflect a lot more blue. The glitters are not too chunky, but they are big enough to see and to reflect, and I really do love it. So I think overall in this collection, I really, really do like the liquid eyeshadows and the liquid glitters. It's just like a standout product, especially the liquid shadows. I've never seen anything like that before. Next in the collection, let's talk about the Iron Mascara. This is $12 USD, and it's not a new product, but it's sort of like a new version. This is the 6 degree precision design. So you can see has a slight little bend to it, and it is much thinner and longer to the original, which I actually like this version more. If you have short sparse lashes like me and you find it difficult to apply mascara, then I think this would be so handy. It makes it so easy because look at how thin and long this mascara wand is. Something about this iron wand coats your lashes so evenly, lengthens and separates them so nice. And I like to use this more as like a base for my mascara, so I'll get that first initial lengthen and separation, and if I want to clump my lashes together, I'll use a mascara that's a little bit more volumizing, a little bit thickening to clump those lashes. But this just works great on its own as well. It doesn't transfer, smudge proof. It really is such a great mascara. I know a lot of people talk about this mascara because it holds a curl really well. I can't say for sure just because I constantly have a lash lift ongoing, so I can't say for sure, but I will take other people's word on it. If you really love a good lengthening and separating mascara that's not going to give you any clumps, this is the mascara to have. I adore it. And we're now on to the last and final products. These are the Cushion Lip Powder Creams. There are 3 different shades and I picked up 2 of them. This is not a new formula, but just new colors, and I actually have tried these before. I was supposed to do a whole dedicated review to these, but I just never got the time, I never got around to doing it. If you guys still want me to do that, where I can show you the swatches and everything, I still can, totally, but probably would just take some time. My unboxing video on these on Instagram actually, I would say kind of went viral. It got 10 million views, which is crazy, because with these, the applicator is really cute and interesting. It's like a little powder sponge puff, very similar to the blushes, but for the lips. And this makes it really easy to apply, especially with this formula as well. This formula is a very blurred matte lip cream, and with this like spongy applicator, it really does help blur out all of those lip lines. Although I will say that this formula is a little bit more matte and drying compared to other lip creams I have used, for example the Flower Nose. Even though it's a little bit more matte and drying, it does not transfer. Whereas like the ones from Flower Nose or Floret, they do transfer, but they're a little bit more creamy. So you gotta really pick and choose what you want here. Even though I say they are more matte and drying, then don't feel drying on the lips. You know, I'm just saying in comparison to some other lip creams, these are more matte and drying. But in saying that, these will be transfer proof, making them a lot more long lasting throughout the day. So again, really fits into this collection with everything just staying on. You will even see when I apply it, I like to apply some on my lips and then I'll go in with a brush to blend out the edges. And you can see it does dry out really quickly. You don't have much time to really move the product. I really do think it's a great formula. I just wish they would come out with more like cooler tone shades. Even with the original lineup that I got, a lot of them are very warm. The ones I have here are very warm. I wish, you know, they would just come out with a really cool pink. But other than that, if we're just speaking about formula, it is really nice, very comfortable, just a really good matte lip cream. You guys know how much I love my lip creams, and it's improved by me, for sure. With that being said, guys, that essentially was the entire Judy Doll Sport Chic collection. I think the liquid eyeshadows definitely were the standout. I just really haven't seen a formula like that before. Overall, I feel like everything did perform well. Even the product that was on the bottom, it's like wasn't a bad product, you know what I mean? Let me know what you guys think of the collection, if you are gonna pick up anything after watching. Have you already gotten something? I would love to know your thoughts down below in the comments. But with that being said, that does conclude today's video. Please give the video a thumbs up for me if you did enjoy, if it was helpful. It really does help me and my channel out a lot. I love you guys so much, and I'll go ahead and see you in my next one. Bye!